the region. The loser, that is, drops into at least third or fourth place.
Locke sets him down, gives to his tailback Tig, and Tig's got a hole. Blasts over the 30, down over the 25, inside the 24 to the 23-yard line goes Tig, the tailback. And boy, he is quicker than Smith back there.
They have got a stable of running backs with that good speed. You know, Riverdale lost 5 Division I signees last year. Clyde, off that senior class that went 15-0. But their juniors and sophomores last year were pretty sporty as well. These guys still a quality football team.
Feeding them speed pills over there, evidently. Boy, they've got a lot of speed. Speed to burn on this Riverdale team. Hand it to Tig, the tailback again, and he slides down for a yard or two. This time Lebanon played that pretty well, keeping him hemmed in. He'll get to the 21. They'll give him the 22-yard line and no more. Gain of about a yard and a half on the play.
John, can you sense the frustration on that Lebanon sideline? We have not been able to move the ball offensively on the ground, and now Riverdale running the thing right up the middle.
Tommy, it's frustration is the understatement. It's just almost like you throw your hands up and just wonder what you can do next. This Riverdale team is obviously not just a one-man show.
Pitch back goes to the tailback Tig again, and he turns it through the 20, down over the 18, 17 to the 16-yard line, and gains good yardage, and that is going to bring up about a 3rd down and 3 now for Riverdale. Just at they'll mark it at the 17-yard line of Lebanon, and Riverdale threatening to get another here in the closing moments of the ball game, leading Lebanon 14-0.
Lehue out of the football game. Looks like he's got some kind of a hand injury. Kelly back in at the strong corner spot for the Blue Devils.
And Riverdale going to put wideouts left and right. 2:06 to play in the ball game if the clock is right. And Locke is going to pull it out and keep it and be had after he gains a yard. Carson hung on. C finally came up to help, but Carson would not let go of Locke. And that's kind of quite a matchup. Locke, 5'9", and
Elliott about 6'4", 6'5".
6'4".
Locke just keeps those feet a-churning, and Lebanon's going to take a timeout here. 1:48 to go in the football game. Riverdale threatening. Riverdale leads Lebanon by a score of 14-0. We'll be back with more here on FM 99 after this 30-second timeout. Well, we've got our breaks in tonight. Sponsors ought to be happy.
Well, I don't know what they've done back at the station. They've blown us out of here.
Yeah.
Down the line feed, and then second half, you can't hear it.
And it's something they send back to us, right? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, he's turned it down.
Yeah. Noakes Lassiter Field is the site of this football game tonight. Tommy Bryant, Terry Stafford, Clyde Harville, John Bryan down on the field as the FM 99 broadcast crew, in cooperation with Lebanon Cablevision, brings you Lebanon High football. Next week, Lebanon will be entertaining Hendersonville High in another regional football game. That's the homecoming. The festivities begin at 7 o'clock next week, so get here early. Band Sweetheart, Homecoming Queen, all the events surrounding homecoming ought to be a great evening next week right here at Noakes Lassiter.
4th and 1 for Riverdale at the Lebanon 14.5. Locke with a long count. Hands off, pulls it back, pitch out to Tig on the right side. He turns it, he's inside the 10, still on his feet. Lebanon going to knock him down near the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, Riverdale, with 1:39 on the scoreboard clock.
Most teams just give it to the fullback or go with a quarterback sneak in that situation, but Riverdale so confident of their outside game and the quick feet in that backfield. They run the play fake inside. The quarterback Locke comes out, makes a great pitch, and the running back churns for that 1st down yardage, and now they're knocking on the door. 1:39 to go in the game.
Football at the Lebanon 5 with a 1st and 10. Riverdale leading 14-0, and they want more. Locke sets them down. Long count. Pitch back to Tig, and I think Lebanon was offside. Lebanon had a linebacker trying to anticipate the count and shoot through that time, and I think he was in too much of a hurry.
Tim Kelly lined up in the gap, going to blow through there on the stunt and gets over in the neutral zone. So Lebanon going with a goal line look. And checking into the football game was Henson. I believe that's right. Yes, it was. Jason Henson in there at a linebacker. Kelly's out. And also, let's see who we've got in the secondary. We've got Zachary in there at a corner.
First and goal now from the Lebanon 2.5, and Locke will set him down. Wideouts left and right. Locke going to pitch it back to his tailback, Tig. Tig got a hold. Touchdown, Riverdale. Tig blasts through on the left side and scores for the Warriors. And that'll definitely drive the final nail in the Lebanon coffin. It was already in there, I think, but that kind of put the finishing touch on it. 1:18 to go. Riverdale leading 20-0 here at Noakes Lassiter as they have given the Blue Devils a thorough whipping tonight.
John, you've got the call of this PAT attempt.
Brian Austin into long snap. Ryan Maloney will handle the holding. Miller to kick. The snap is back. It's down. The kick is up. It is splitting the upright. It's good. Riverdale 21, 11-0.
And we'll be back with the kickoff by the Warriors after this 30-second commercial break on the Blue Devil Network.
Back at Lebanon, Murfreesboro Riverdale getting on the board in the closing few minutes of this ball game as they march 46 yards in 9 plays. Carlos Tig with the touchdown, running it over from the 3-yard line. Ryan Miller again splits the uprights with the extra point. 1:18 left in the game. Riverdale leading Lebanon now 21-0.
And the Blue Devils have a new deep man back. That is number 26, Titus Kelly, is deep for the Blue Devils. He's at his own 5-yard line. Zachary and C at about the 11. Zachary at about the 15. And here is Knox's kick. Long and deep. Heading for C. C retreats to his 1. He's back at the 5, the 10. Gets a block out to the 15, 20. Hit hard at the 20-yard line. Flags are going to fly. And when they fly on the kickoff, you can look for a clipping penalty. And that's probably what's going to be against the Blue Devils.
John, that was right in front of you. Did you get any idea of what we had on the penalty?
It's going to be a clip, Tommy. One of our quick guys that's supposed to set the wall up evidently blocked someone in the back or caught them down low. So it's going to cost us at least 10 yards, and that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be half the distance to the goal line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 just inside our own 10-yard line.
Well, the Blue Devils have dug themselves another hole. It seems like that everything we try to do tonight goes against us, and they're back now at their own 10, 90 yards away from a score with 1 minute left in the ball game. Pitt back to throw. Handoff, and here comes Stafford up the middle. Gain of about 2 out to the 12. And had a hold there, but Riverdale closed it in a hurry. And coming up to make a great play for Riverdale is Kevin Litchford. 6 foot, 213-pound senior making the stop.
Reeves checks into the game for the Blue Devils. Goes into the backfield. Lebanon now is a clock inside the 40-second mark, trailing 21-0.
21 zip on the Blue Devils here on their home field, Noakes Lassiter. And it'll definitely mean a road trip for Lebanon in the playoffs if they get to the playoffs. C open over the middle, caught at the 21, and then knocked back. But I think he had the first down if they give him the spot. And it will be the first down for the Blue Devils out at the 21-yard line. And Lebanon having good success there throwing the ball as C came back into the middle and was wide open.
Ron came across on the box-in route, ran him up the field, and turned him back into the middle. Hankins checking in as the clock now runs inside the 22nd mark. Lebanon going to drop to 4-3 on the season, 2-2 in the region.
Hankins will spit wide left, Zachary wide right, and Pitt back to throw, gets some time, fires long, and there's nobody anywhere close to that one. It's intercepted by Maloney at his own 40, 45, 50, 45. And Stafford really put a shot on him as he crossed the 45, got down to about the 42, near the 41-yard line.
And Chris Stafford very upset and frustrated tonight. And you could see the frustration on Chris as he just unloaded on Maloney. I don't know if we had a mix-up in the route or what, but 7 seconds to go in the football game, and the clock should start when the official signals it ready, and that's going to do it. That's the ball game. Lebanon loses by a score of 21-0 to Riverdale here at Noakes Lassiter Field. So the Warriors make it 2 in a row over Lebanon and break a 2-game losing streak.
And Lebanon, Tommy, just thoroughly whipped tonight.
Lebanon never in the ball game after about the 7-minute mark early on, and we'll talk about that more during our post-game show. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Blue Devil Football on FM 99. You're listening to FM 99 post-game scoreboard show. John Bryan down on the field with Lebanon High head coach Bob Dillard. John, take it away.
Thank you, Tommy. The post-game show. I'm your host, John Bryan, talking with head coach Bob Dillard. Coach, Riverdale obviously is just not a one-man team with their Griffin out. We had to deal with Eric Locke and a host of Riverdale running backs tonight, and they just basically beat us up front.
Yeah, they did. They whipped us, especially their defensive line whipped our offensive line. We came out and we ran the football the first couple of drives. We had it, and then they just decided they was going to whip us, and they did. And until we get to where we can block people and run the football, we're not going to be a very successful football team.
Coach, the running game wasn't there, obviously. We went to throwing the ball and did a good job throwing the ball. Had a little bit of time back there in the backfield, but defensively, Riverdale really came to play.
Riverdale came in here to win a football game. That's all you can say about it. And we, I'm not going to say we weren't ready to play, because I felt like coming out that we weren't. But we didn't fight them like we need to fight in order to be successful.
Coach, next week we got yet another Region 4 or 5A game coming in here with Hendersonville. It's homecoming. We've got to get this team fired up and ready to play next Friday night.
Well, next Friday night's a big ball game. It's a region game, and you know, if we want a shot at making it in the state playoffs, we've got to come to play next Friday night against Hendersonville.
Coach, we had one injury to Mark Lucas. Have you heard anything back from the hospital on him?
No, I haven't. Mark's at the hospital now, and I'm going to see if I can find out something as soon as I can.
Coach, I hope we have a good week of practice, and let's see if we can get our team rallied back to finish out these regional ball games.
Well, we're going to come back Monday and go to work, and we're going to get better.
All right, this has been the post-game show with Bob Dillard. I've been your host, John Bryan. We'll take it back to the station for a 2-minute break.
Tonight's post-game show has been brought to you by Fakes and Hooker Decorating Center, your Porter Paint dealer, Southern Home Furniture, Auto Parts and Service Company, Lebanon, Carthage, Gallatin, College Street Church of Christ Youth Ministries, and Harris Brothers Cabinet Shop.
School, and it has not been a pretty night for the Blue Devils as Lebanon drops a 21-0 decision to Murfreesboro Riverdale. We invite you to stay tuned tonight for our post-game scoreboard show with Dale Day and Lynn Bogle, who was wearing a tuxedo earlier this evening. And won't that be a sight back at FM 99 headquarters as Bogle comes into the station, Natalie attired. Terry Stafford has got the stat rundown on this football game, and most of those stats belong to Riverdale. Terry, take it away.
Thank you, Tommy. Murfreesboro Riverdale defeats Lebanon tonight 21-0 as Lebanon falls to 4-3 on the season, 2-2 in the region. Recapping the scoring, Riverdale got on the board on the last play of the first quarter as they marched 52 yards in 5 plays. Scoring the touchdown, Eric Locke hits Reggie Smith, 15-yard touchdown